Do 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 do. We are live. Sweet. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Bitglen. This is my cryptocurrency channel, and I'm trying to vlog, obviously, my ups and downs going through my own cryptocurrency journey. So, welcome for joining me. If you want to subscribe, click the little button down here, and also the big red button. If you want to be notified when I actually go live, as Robert's Tribe probably just has, he says, "Yo, mate," straight away. Then click the little bell and get a notification for when I upload the next video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I think that's it. And join me on Telegram. If you want to join our Telegram group chat, there's a description, a link in the description. Click on that, and you can join us in the Telegram app, which I have on my phone and desktop, and we all chat in there. And many of the people that you'll see in this live chat actually are members in there. We're about 120 strong now, so doing well. Although it's been a bit quiet the last few days, quieter than normal. I don't know if that's because when crypto currencies are in a decline, maybe people don't want to talk about it. Everyone's loud enough when things are going up in price, but no one wants to talk about it when it goes down. But you know, I still do, so let's go for it. Russell says, "Hey Glenn." Robert said, "Snowing down here, LOL." Yes, it's been snowing. It's been snowing for the last couple of days here, actually. Michael says, "Hey from Atlanta." I wouldn't mind being in Atlanta right now, I suppose. So, as you all probably know, because you've all, you know, we all are up to date with cryptocurrency. Bitcoin at 8K. Has it gone up? It seems to be going up quite well. Yeah, it's going up quite rapidly, actually. There were some bargains to be had. ENJ is going to the moon. We'll look at that in a second, PJ. So, over the last couple of days, last 2 days, I'd say. Well, actually, the last week or so, actually. It's just been a decline of value. You can see here in the week-long chart on Monday, which was a week ago, it was worth 9,008, and obviously we was heading to 10K, and then it's just gone down, down, down to where we're at right now. It's gone up a bit, actually. It's gone back up to 8K, but obviously for the last day or so, it's been sort of hovering just above 7K. Which obviously is it's disheartening, I suppose, because when you have a sort of belief that something's going to change the world and it's going to be worth so much in a certain time frame, but you do have to take the hits, you know, as long as well as the good. So I wasn't too fussed about this decline. I really wasn't, even though this time I have actually got, you know, some coins put aside for cryptocurrency. It didn't really bother me too much. I know I've only been in cryptocurrency for about 5 months, and I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I can predict stuff in any way. I just wasn't that bothered. If anything, it was today that really I thought, oh my God, there are some bargains out there. And I just thought, oh, I wish I had more fiat money, because at the minute I am absolutely skinted out. So I couldn't buy more if I wanted to, but Ethereum went down. This is the real, the thing that shocked me the most, actually, because I've seen Bitcoin at 7K, 8K, 6K, you know, I've seen that a few times, but Ethereum went down to 400 and, was it 90? That was earlier today, and I thought, my God, that is a bargain. That is going to be worth, when obviously things get back to a bull run, that's, you know, it's got to be worth 1,500 at that point. So you're talking about tripling your money if you'd bought at that price. Let's have a look at the one-day chart for Ethereum. You can see here the low was 460. To me, that really opened my eyes, and I thought, whoa, this, you know, because you see Bitcoin going up and down, especially in thousands, quite regularly. But Ethereum generally has stayed still. It's always been worth $600-700. Obviously, it was worth 1,400 at one point, but you know, it went down to 1,000, and then it went down to sort of 700, and that's where it stayed. So when I saw that drop, and Ripple as well, I think Ripple was in the 50 cents earlier. So yeah, some real big bargains to add out there. If you've got obviously spare money, then I wish I could join you and buy some bloody more. That's probably the most frustrating thing today about when these big dips happen now, because I remember when I first got into cryptocurrency, everyone was saying, "Oh, buy the dips, sell the highs." And when I came into it, I'll just show you for example. I came into it in November, so let's do 3 months. 3 months ain't far enough. Oh, I know, I'll show you on this. So let's do to today. I joined in, let's say, November. So from where I joined in November, the price was $6,000, something like that, and you can see a dip here, but other than that, it was up, all the way until sort of mid-December. I believe it was around about just before Christmas, a few days before Christmas. I remember it started dipping. So what's this? 23rd of December. What a guess! Pow! And yeah, it dipped, and that was. I remember thinking then, oh, that's a good time to buy. That's a good dip. But then saying that, obviously, it wasn't, because a month later it all crashed and went down to where we're at now. Really, that's at 6.8. But I still believe that the prices that they are now are really good. And who's to say that the prices, a lot of people would have bought at all-time highs. They would have joined in cryptocurrency here. Well, they must have done. Someone must have bought it at that price. So some people have bought here. At some point, that may be a good price. They may look back on their account 2 years down the line and think, oh my God, Bitcoin 100k. I remember I bought mine at 20k. So anyway, I don't want to be too negative, because I think there's enough of that in the media and online. So let's look at some positives. So some positives are, there are some real cheap bargains out there. I mean, even Ethereum at this price is a bargain, and randomly in the last sort of 40 minutes to an hour, this has started to shoot up quite a bit actually. There you go. It's just gone up $150 while I've been talking to you guys. Bitcoin's going up. Ethereum just went up a bit there. So it seems like I was actually going to, on my video, wait till 6.6 or a little higher from Gigabit. So it's bouncing back now, which is good, because obviously it's a Sunday night. So give it sort of Monday midday, by the time all the, America's awake, UK and Europe have bought in. If that keeps going the way it is, it's probably going to start around 8.5k by Monday morning. So we could be looking at a 9k Bitcoin by like midday tomorrow. This is obviously all optimistic point of view. Ripple, I assume, is going to bounce back up to sort of 80 cent to 90 cent. The real big gains, I believe, are in Ethereum and Litecoin. They're the two coins I think, boy, they are going to shoot up. I mean, Ethereum's going to gain at least $200 a coin, I think. This is not financial advice. This is just me speculating. Litecoin, I believe, to go up to 200 to 250 when it all obviously goes back. Neo was at 100 at some point, although Neo's had a bit of bad press recently. But the one I wanted to talk about actually was in the last 24 hours. It's all changed now. There was only one coin. I've been checking it regularly throughout the day, and there was only one coin that was up other than Tether. Tether's always up or just a little bit down, or it stays the same, obviously, because it's backed by $1 per coin. So it's generally always worth $1. But the one coin that was up other than that, the rest were all down, was oddly IOTA. So IOTA seems to get really bad press and bad criticism, a lot of criticism, that's what I should say, in the crypto world. And I don't know if there was an update or a news article or something that came out, but this was up like 5%, 8% in when everything else was bottoming hard. So I don't know what's happened with IOTA, but something has changed, and IOTA was going up a lot. Normally that implies it's going to be the biggest loser tomorrow, so we'll see. We'll keep an eye on IOTA tomorrow, but it seems now actually there's tons and tons of most of them are green now. So literally, I was sitting on the toilet. I know you probably. I was sitting on the toilet looking at all of these. I looked at the top 100. I was looking at the all-time, and I was looking at like all coins. I was looking at what's gone up or down in the last 7 days, 24 hours, and 1 hour, and all that. And now it's all completely changed. And that was only about 45 minutes ago. Don't worry, I washed my hands. Let's see what you guys are going to say. So PJ says, buy Litecoin. I have all my money, which is only like $400 worth. No, it's more than that. It's about $500 worth. Is all in Litecoin at the minute. I bought Litecoin when it was at $150. Robert says 8.2. So obviously Bitcoin. Well, all of them though. Everyone seems to be buying. Yeah, it's going up quick. How are you today, mate? Yeah, I'm good. I've done loads of DIY jobs today, and then I was putting blind. If anyone's ever put blinds up on a conservatory ceiling, my God, I never want to go through that again. Gonna dip again tonight. Gigabit with a strong prediction there. You think it's going to go back down tonight? There's a lot of good news coming out at G20 tomorrow. Hey, I bought Ethereum on the dip. Unfortunately, I only had 70 quid to splash out. That's from Negated 909. Yeah, that's the thing. But then your 70 quid may be, you know, potentially 210 in potentially a week, 10 days time. You never know. So you may think that's only a small investment, but it might turn into something. That 200 you can invest in something else that might go up. It could become 300, and before you know it, you've got a little bit to play about with then. So I know how you feel though. I look at these prices today and I think, God, I wish I had a spare £2,000 I would put in. If I had £2,000 right now, I'd buy probably 1,000 worth of Ethereum, probably 500 Litecoin, 500 maybe Bitcoin. That's in British pounds, so it'd be a lot more in dollars. Yeah, but there you go. What are some bargains out there, guys? What's a coin that you've been watching that you think, oh my God, that's the cheapest I've ever seen it? I know there's loads out there. Some of the altcoins vomited hard. Some of them were down like 60% from where they were a few days ago. Monero went into the $100 mark, I can't remember, it was 160 or something like that, which I thought, God, that was 350. Only I know obviously it was because of the Monero 5 fork, but that is still happening on April the 30th, so I would assume that's going to get back up to that price. Tron's at 2 cent, 2.8 cent at the minute. VeChain $3.50. Bitcoin Gold. Who gives a fuck about them? Oh, I'll tell you one that it literally makes me die a little bit inside every time I check it, because I've never seen this go up. Every time I check it, it's worse than what it was before. Let's see if it's gone up now. No, it hasn't. This was at $28 just a little while ago. It might have been 26 actually. And Bitcoin Private has been such a letdown. I wish I never got involved in that hard fork, but I mean, it was a good experience and I've learned a lot from it. But that's a $500 lesson. Never mind. It's going to come back. Come on, have faith. Let's see. IOTA is up 7%. Oh, 134 Litecoin this morning was great. Don't buy IOTA shit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sold on IOTA. And that's why I haven't really put too much effort into it. It was just random. It was the only coin that was up. Oh my goodness, Binance better than Bitfinex. Switch Chain better than Shapeshift. IOTA doesn't have a damn stable wallet. Gigabit says they are oversold on the relative strength index, under 30% when the market buys hard till 70%. I haven't got a clue what any of that meant. Sorry, Gigabit. Russell says I agree. Someone understands. Gigabit says Neo. I made $100 in 2 hours on Neo. I'm done for the day. Yay. How much did you have to put into Neo to make $100? Gigabit, I wonder. 3,000 Verge tokens for set. Oh yeah, Verge. I had 300 Verge coins that were worth about 50. Was it $40? I think at the time. God, where is Verge? 31. Well, it's down to 29. That is, yeah. I mean, that's cheap. That's at 2.9 cent. Yeah, there are some. All of these are still, even though some of them are pumping a bit now, they're still cheap. But it depends if you believe in the project or if you're just looking to make a quick buck, I suppose. But then it's really hard because the way cryptocurrencies are, I mean, if you look at these graphs here, there's some that stand out. Like you can see here, IOTA had a massive pump. But look at the rest of them. They almost look like they're copy and pasted. I know it's very easy to say that on such small graphs. You'd have to zoom right into them. But you can see them all dip and you can see them all going back up at the same point. Obviously, Tether is tied to a dollar, so that one's always sort of stays the same. But the rest all look the same. Now, what I'm trying to get at with this is that if you are just looking to make quick money, you're better off just looking at the main 5. You know, if that's all you want to do, because if these all go up, that means Bitcoin probably already went up. So, you know, it's unless you can see a coin that you think is going to go like 30% up in a day or something like that, which normally would imply one of the shit coins, like a random shit coin, a pump and dump coin, unless you're involved in one of them. Let's have a little look in the last hour. Rise has gone up 94%, and that's the thing I'm talking about. If you want to make quick money, you have to invest in one of these type of coins, and it's all well and good and being 94% up in the last hour, but over the last 7 days they're actually down 40%. So you have to pretty much buy a load of random coins, check them all the time. As soon as one goes up, cash them out for Bitcoin like straight away. Otherwise you're going to be in for a dip and you're going to feel gutted the next day. But there's a lot of them here, 50%, 20%. But they're all coins I've never even heard of. Some of the names don't even make sense. Even when you go and click into them, they're all like, they look like no one's put any effort in with them. But there you go. Someone's buying them. PJ says ADA ZRX ZEC. ADA. Cardano. That's at 15 cent at the minute. From its all-time high of $1.25. So 15 cent is a bargain. Tron, I knew someone would mention Tron. Let's have a little look. It's on its way back up. It's at 2 cent from its all-time high. That was in January. Won't actually go on there for me, but over 24 cent anyway. So now it's at 2 cents. So that potentially has 100 times. Is that 100 times? Yeah, it'd be 100 times its money. So if that goes back up to its all-time high, that's a big gain. Tron will rock because of the coin burn and the partnerships to use their coin. Yeah, I've heard about this coin burn. They're going to burn off a lot of their coins, whereas at the minute they've got a total supply of, I can't even read that figure, is that 100 billion? Yeah, 100 billion coins. So I don't know how much they're going to go down by, but obviously the theory is the less there are total supply, the more valuable they're going to be. So I don't know if they're just going to burn it to how many are actually in circulation. It says here that in circulating they have 65 billion. So that'd be interesting to see how much they change that by. $500 made 20%. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Credits. Let's have a little look at credits. It's up 21% already. So generally you would say that that's worth about 60 cents. What's it at the minute? It's 47 cents. A potential good gain to be had there. Although if you're looking at its all-time high, you're looking at, what's that, $1 something, 109, 120. Yeah, so credit's looking alright. I would still rather buy one of the big coins, one of the top 5 or 10 at least, if you're just looking for gain, unless you really believe in the project. And that's the difference. If you really believe in a project, you're going to buy it. Like I believe that Envium will be profitable, whether the coin goes up in value or not. So it's probably a good time to mention them. They was at 51 cents. Now during this whole crash, Envium pretty much stayed as it is. So it held its own when everything else was going down around it. It stayed the same price. It was at 56 cents all day today. I don't think it dropped down much from that. Let's look at the 1-day chart. It says here the lowest it went down to was 50 cents. I thought it was 51 was the lowest I saw it. And its highest was 58. I only saw it at 56, but that's generally, you can see there that, I mean, that's obviously very zoomed in, but you can see it's pretty much stayed the same for a while now. That's over a week. But bearing in mind, we've had, and you can see this is for the whole month, the last month. If we look at 3 months, it's really sort of stagnated. It stayed where it is. Now that says to me that not many people are buying or selling it. It's just staying as it is. But I've been really happy with Envium, like in terms of not a store of value, but obviously a lot of people that have that coin must believe in it. Otherwise they wouldn't keep hold of it, not sell it. Tron at 2.5 cents now, good deal, and the coin burn on the 31st this month, and the mainnet. It has its own platform now, leaving Ethereum platform, and all the other partners use their own coin for app. 30 cent all-time high, 30 cents, that's 10 times XXXXXXX. 303 billion market cap. 313, sorry. Yes. Now, this is my theory as to why the market cap seems to fluctuate, even though it's such a large amount of money between the two. As we know, well, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I've been sort of trying to swing trade. I only did it for a day and I've given up on it, to be honest. Using GDAX. Now, if I wanted to, I could cash this Litecoin out and convert it into British pounds. Now, if you do that, then obviously your coins, really what I should have done, thinking about it now, I should have cashed out for British pounds while this big dip was happening, and then obviously when I saw it at 140 then buy it, but obviously I didn't know that was going to happen, as did no one. So you can quite easily do that, and within 2 seconds I could have my money out of cryptocurrency and then back in again. Now if everyone's doing that, then obviously you can understand why all of a sudden this market cap could go from 350 billion to 400 billion, because it would only take so many thousands of people with, you know, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000 in USD or GBP or euros, and then quickly convert it back into Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum, then it's back into cryptocurrency. So, and that could happen quickly. I don't know if that is obviously the reason why, but it makes me wonder, because with like Coinbase, it's very hard to just and there's not that many apps where you can just give fiat money to and they will give you cryptocurrency in return. So the main one is obviously Coinbase, but they set limits. So if I tried to upload some money right now, the max they would let me do is 750. Obviously that takes, you know, it's fairly quick. If you do it on a credit card, it's pretty instant. And then obviously you can transfer that Bitcoin into wherever you want, and then buy obviously, you know, altcoins and stuff like that. But I don't think that's what's happening. I think pretty much there's probably actually about 500 billion in cryptocurrency, and some people are just holding it as fiat money in there, either GDAX, Coinbase. They're cashing it out, and then when dips happen like that, they think, do you know what, I'm gonna convert that back into Bitcoin or Litecoin, and that's why we see such large numbers of money going back into the system like so quick. Like, you know, for all I know, tomorrow this could be at 450 billion market cap, and that's in one day. And you think, where does 140 billion dollars come from in one day? You know, where does that? Where? And I couldn't get my head around it. But since obviously doing that, converting pounds back into cryptocurrency so easily, I thought, oh, that's what everyone's doing. So people took money out because it went too low, but smart money is coming in when the market dips, and they know Bitcoin is at its low point for the year. They will buy big before the summer. Yo, 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 Frederick's in the house. Yes, so that brings me on to my next point. So we've talked about, obviously, the dip. I think we've covered most of that. I've covered a lot of the coins that you guys wanted mentioning. So that's that. It looks like we're on the bounce, which is good news. You can see here everything's up 4 or 5%. Where's the Litecoin? 3.5%. Come on, the Litecoin. Come on. So what I wanted to talk about is I was watching a video by Crypto Night. No, actually, I'll start off. I was actually watching a video from a YouTuber. I can't remember his name, and I probably can't find the video. I can't remember the title, but it just came up in my news feed. It was someone that I'm not subscribed to. He only had a couple of hundred subscribers, I think. So, you know, a newish, bit like me, a newish YouTuber. And he did an article about, or he talked about Bitcoin going up in price on May the 14th. And actually, it'll be in my history, wouldn't it? And I can show you guys. I want to give him a bit of credit because I wouldn't have known about it otherwise. What should I do? But anyway, I'll talk while I'm trying to search. And he was saying that some story on Reddit, like Bitcoin Reddit or something like that, was talking about that an investor went for a meal with this advisor, and he's called a, I think he was called a king, not a kingpin, but a kingmaker or something like that. And apparently he's big in the financial sector, but also in the cryptocurrency, and that them two don't cross over very often. So he's someone that's sort of on both sides of the fence, and he's advising people. He went for this meal, and he said to the guy, this investor, look, make sure you get in before May the 14th. That's when it's going to skyrocket. And it sounded like a bit of a, not a dodgy story, but, you know, one of those, you know, round the campfire type story. I don't know. It didn't particularly. That's why I haven't really mentioned it in my videos. I sort of watched it and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And he was saying, oh, well, from May the 14th onwards, it was such a specific date as well. Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is. Oh, it said that there was going to be 5 trillion. So just get your head around that figure. 5 trillion. New money pumped into cryptocurrency from May the 14th for the rest of the year. That's massive numbers. I think that's what threw me off as well. Bearing in mind we're at a third of 1 trillion right now. He's talking about 5 trillion getting added to cryptocurrency on May the 14th onwards. So, to be honest, I completely disregarded it. That's why I haven't talked about it. That's why I mentioned it, because it could have just been a made up story that's been passed on. A YouTuber's mentioned it, and now another YouTuber's talking about that YouTuber mentioning it. So I didn't bring it up. But then I was watching another video. Oh, I was going to show you, weren't I? So if I go to, but then I went to. That's going to show you all my history of what my kids watch. I was watching Crypto Night, and he done a video talking about cryptocurrency going up May the 14th. I thought, that's 2 YouTubers now mentioning May the 14th for cryptocurrency going up in price. But he had a different reason. These are all the crap videos that my son watches. Although that is an awesome video, actually. That is really funny. God. He uses my PlayStation to watch YouTube. Make awesome OBS streams. Turn your phone into a webcam. I was playing about with that the other day. So I was trying to use my phone as like a webcam rather than this one. So then I could free up a bit more screen retail space. Oh, I don't think I'm going to find it, guys, to be honest, because I'm not going to find it. It was around here somewhere, but no, it's too much. Sorry. Anyway, I'm sure you guys can find it. Type in May the 14th. Anyway, then crypto night. Crypto news. Crypto with a 0. Really cool YouTuber. I really like him. He's never going to see my videos, but he's been doing cryptocurrency videos for over a year now. And he was quite a big advocate of Ethereum at the beginning. All his videos were based on Ethereum. But anyway, he'd done a new story about May the 14th, cryptocurrency taken off. If you want to actually watch the full explanation, just click on this video here. But his one was to do with that there's a big conference for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in general, and apparently every year when this conference goes on, it has all the major players in the cryptocurrency space. It happens on May the 14th or just after, I think, and when that typically happens every year, the price of Bitcoin tends to go up, and it tends to go up for several months. So I thought, okay, I'll put this to the test. So I've come over to that website 99bitcoins.com where it has the charts, and what I've done is I actually went to let's look at January 2014 to January 2015. And if we look around the May time, you can see here, so this is May the 11th. So May the 16th, massive spike. So ding, that's, that backs up the story. And that's from 3 years ago. 4 years ago now, actually. We're in 2018, aren't we? And you can see there the price was massive, and then obviously it dipped back down, actually. So obviously it depends what happened at that point in time. Now let's move this over, actually, to January 15 to January 16. So if we go to May, you got there was a dip where Bitcoin was worth $232. It sort of stagnated, and even dipped a bit further before it sort of had a run up, and that was around the 16th of June. All the way up to sort of September time where it dipped down, and then it had a massive run up again, and where it went up obviously a lot more in value, doubled in price pretty much later that year. So that doesn't really tie in with that story, I suppose. I don't know how long this conference has been going on for. So now let's move on another year. So let's go to January 16 to January 17, and you can see here May the 20th, massive run up, and then it just continued to go up and up and up and up and up. So when that happened, so let's do May the 14th, Bitcoin was at $459. So if we go up, it went to a high of 756, then it dipped back down, and then it went all the way up to 875 that January. Now let's go to, so that actually ties in with that story that Bitcoin always goes up generally from May onwards. Now let's go over to January 17 to January 18. So we have got May here, so we're on May the 14th, and you can see here just steadily it's going up and up and up. It had a dip there, but still really good. It started off at $1,500 around that sort of time frame, It dipped down to 1,900 or 2,000, and then obviously, as we all know, this is where I came into the space here, and then it just went up and up and up and up. So, and then obviously it's back down again. So to me, that would say that, yeah, May time seems to be a good bet. Now, things that have happened in the past necessarily doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen again this year. We may see a big run up before then. But based on those historical events and based on like a couple of people mentioning this now, it makes me think, right, I have got between now and May, which obviously is, if you're watching this video in the future at some point, it's March. Oh look, I've still got this open. It's March the 18th, so I have got the rest of March, then whole of April, and then sort of mid-May. So I've actually got 2 months, just under 2 months really, to try and get as much cryptocurrency as I can before that happens. Now, it's always been my plan to keep, once I'm sorted money-wise, which I'm hoping will be in the next couple of weeks, to start regularly investing like a small amount of money, something that I'm not really going to notice on a week-to-week basis, maybe £50 to £100, which in dollars is like $80 to $130 a month, a week, sorry, and therefore I can build up my portfolio and just buy, like I say, the main ones: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and if I can do that before May, potentially I could have, you know, 4, 8, 10 weeks, maybe a grand, maybe a bit, something like that, and yeah, obviously, hopefully ride that run, and hopefully that grand will be worth maybe 2-3 grand, potentially, keeping hold of that until the end of the year. So anyway, that's my thoughts. What do you guys think? That's just something that I've noticed, saying that, you know, looking around the internet, I've seen it a couple of times now. So crypto is bouncing back today. Bitglen, do you know Lorette used to be an opera singer? Did he? Oh right, no, I didn't know that. I didn't know he used to be an opera. BBO says, "Sup Glen, what are we talking about? We're talking about the price of cryptocurrencies at the minute, obviously going down, but they seem to be going up in a big way since I started doing this video. So maybe everyone, you know, maybe it's my fault. Maybe when I do live videos, cryptocurrency goes up, which if it was, I'm sure you'd want me to be on 24/7. So let's have a little look. Might have changed a lot while we've been talking. Bitcoin just dipped a bit there. It's all about the Litecoin. Litecoin's dipped back down as well. Oh, this is in the last hour. Over the last 24 hours gone down. I was going to say it. That was at 3.5%. Now it's only at 0.97. Wow, this sounds like your BTCP prediction. Be careful. My BTCP prediction. What did I predict? Dun dun dun. BTCP. $30. Wait and see more dips next week. We ain't at the button yet. Apart from May the 14th, a lot of people have been talking about March the 28th on whether Monero will be forking or not. Didn't that get pushed back to, it might have been the 30th of March. I thought it got pushed back to April sometime. Monero, the fork delay. Coming March the 14th. That's wrong. I don't know. I haven't got an answer actually in front of me. I don't know. Maybe you guys know, but I thought it was April it got delayed to, but it might be the end of this month. So if you're right, Cortana, I hope you are, because that would mean that in 10 days' time, cryptocurrency is going to go up. But I believe over the next 10 days, we will see nothing well, I suppose you could call it dramatic. If you got involved today, then yeah, you would see a dramatic. But I think they're going to go up to the levels we're used to. Bitcoin at 9.5K in the next 10 days. Ethereum probably 750. Ripple probably 80 to 90 cent. Bitcoin Cash at 1.1. Litecoin probably at $200. That's my predictions anyway. In the next week to 10 days. That would take us obviously to the end of March, and then it'd have the whole of April and a couple of weeks in May before the big run up potentially, supposedly, is going up. So we shall see. Monero is forking soon because the new Antminer. I would like to see what the new Antminer can produce actually. Because would it still be worth it? That's the question. Because whatever they bring out, the more terahashes it has, the more they're going to charge for it. So anyway, I feel like I talk about mining a lot on my videos actually recently. You guys seem to like it. So some other good news. So we've potentially got this run up happening on May the 14th, which is pure speculation. Do not go out and make any financial decisions based on that. Tom Lee, which I really like Tom Lee. I think he's a sound guy. That's my opinion. Tom Lee predicts Bitcoin to reach $91,000 per coin by March 2020. So we're talking 2 years from today. 91k. So if that was the case, let's just pretend we've gone in the future and Bitcoin is worth 91k. You'd be looking at the price today and you wouldn't be giving a fuck, because you'd be thinking, well, you'd want to buy some, obviously, but these dips and that, you're not really going to care about. The trouble is, people like myself got involved in Bitcoin when it was on its way up massively. And even today, it's still only at 50% of what it was when I got involved, you know, me and other people. And I'm sure there's a lot of people, because, you know, I kept seeing the news article, Bitcoin at 2,000, Bitcoin at 3,000. You know, have you invested in Bitcoin yet? It's at 4,000. And when it got to like 6, I was like, right, I need to get involved in this. This is getting ridiculous now. And that's when I got involved. Obviously, some people got involved when it was at 15,000, 16,000, 20. And obviously they're the ones that feel like, oh, do you know what, this is a load of bullshit. And they're not really going to care about whether it dips up or down from day to day, because they're going to think, well, do you know what, I'm still 50% down from, you know, last month. So, you know, if these sort of prices were to be believed, you wouldn't care about these. Which, do I believe that? 91,000. Well, let's go through his reasons to why he believes that will be. And he's got a nice little chart here, actually. Everyone loves it. $1,000 by March 2020, which would mean that that John McAfee would have to eat his own dick on TV. Because then did he say 1 million? I think he said 1 million by 2020 or something like that. Based on his prediction on a chart that shows Bitcoin's performance over the past market dips. So he's got, you know, a good point. When Bitcoin does crash heavily, it bounces straight back up. So you've got to look at, say, stocks and shares. And I'm no investor, so I'm not experiencing this at all. But if something crashed that hard, everyone would wipe their hands clean. You know, whoa, we're staying away from that. You know, they're looking at getting like 5% gains over a year. So if something goes down 50%, everyone would be like, whoa, 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 and just get rid of it. So that's what cryptocurrency is doing at the minute. But the interesting thing is, when it does crash that hard, it comes back just as quick. So we've seen, obviously, in the last 2 days, Bitcoin go from like, you know, in the last 7 days, sorry, go from 9.5k down to, where was it, 7.5 or something like that. That's $2,000 per coin. It could come back in 2 days. You know, it's already at 8.2 while I've been on this video to you guys. So, you know, he's got a good point. Based on the dips bouncing back, if they're saying, right, okay, well, you know, that's worst case. Bitcoin's gone down to 6k, Bitcoin's gone down to 5k, but then it bounces straight back up and it's back up to 10k. So that would lead you to believe that it can only keep going up from there. So there's a graph here, and it shows in blue when the bull runs are. That's what they call it when something's going up in price. And when it goes down, that means it's a bear market. So they've included like dips. So in this bull run, there was a dip, but generally, if you take from the start of it to the end of the square, that is always generally gone up. Then they've the ones that where it starts high and then obviously ends low, that's the bear market. So you can see here the bear markets are tiny compared to the bull runs that happen. And then they've got in here how long it lasted for. So this bull run here went from, bear run went from the 6th of the 8th, 11 to the 11th for the 18th of November 2011. So that lasted 163 days. It went down 90%. Then there's this one here, which it lasted for 406 days. So that's over a year. But then since then, it has generally gone up in price. This is the dip here that we're in at the moment. So you've got to think of it as this. If you invested whenever this was from that's January 2015. If you invested in it in that point, you wouldn't care about these little dips because you're way up anyway. You know, you're here, and today we're talking about, oh no, it's dipped down to here, but you invested down here, so you can see here there's a lot of gain. Now what they're saying is, but they reckon that if you actually look at this graph, it's going to go up, then down a bit, and then go shoot up. So that's based on that graph there. If I'm reading it correctly, please tell me if I'm wrong. The Forbes piece notes that because the chart is based on a logarithmic I can't read that word, scale, as opposed to the traditional linear-based graph, BTC highs and lows are not as distinct. Lee has also predicted high prices for Bitcoin since its price was below $3,000. In July 2017, Lee had already stated that Bitcoin would hit $55,000 by 2022. More recently, in January of this year, Lee said BTC would hit 25k by the end of 2018. So we're currently at $8,000, let's say. So he thinks it's going to almost triple by the end of this year. And then obviously it's going to go up to, he originally said 55,000 by 2022. But based on how the Bitcoin dips and then recovers, he's now saying that he believes Bitcoin to reach 91,000 by March 2020. So obviously his original prediction has completely gone out the window because it's happening 2 years sooner and it's doubling the price. Also, Lee and Fundstrat also recently released the Bitcoin Misery Index in early March, which is described as a sorry, I told you my reading's not very good. Index that lets investors know how miserable BTC holders at the current price. So I was watching a video about this on CNBC or something like that on Facebook. Basically, they're saying that people that are holding Bitcoin are miserable at the moment, and that generally indicates that the price is going to go up because obviously people are led by their emotions, and with other like stocks and shares and commodities, where obviously investors would always buy and sell, obviously a lot of Bitcoin holders are really drummed into us, and just the way we think to hold on to a cryptocurrency, we don't let it go. So that means there's a lot of Bitcoin that people have that they're not doing anything with. So someone new coming into the space would be like, right, how do I get involved in this? How do I buy a large chunk of it? So yeah, interesting. Loads of different theories in that. Let's see what you guys are saying. The X3 is going to kill Monero. Glen, I don't mean Monero V. There's another hard fork which a lot of people are speculating that it's a scam. I haven't heard of that one yet, actually, Cortana. A little bit like Litecoin Cash fork. What am I referring to as the fork that Monero developers are threatening after Bitmain announced a new ASIC miner. Yes, oh yeah, I've heard that they're going to hard fork and make it so that you can't use ASIC miners. Yeah, I'm going to probably stay clear of Monero, actually. It's based on my Bitcoin private experience. Unless another decent hard fork comes up that I'm really sort of, I don't know, feel passionate about, I suppose. I probably won't be taking part in hard forks for a bit. But who knows? Who knows? All these coins will be shit, I assume that's meant to say. Monero's the only one trying to make it ASIC resistant with the fork. Don't sweat, just buy the dip and hold. Ricardo Sepang, follow him on Twitter. He is the Monero guy. Yeah, I will do actually. PJ, do you have any Monero? What are you planning to do? Sell it now. I'm holding, turned into miner ASIC, waiting to put them in Monero after the fork and still buy Monero. Right, so you guys are having a chat amongst yourselves, which is good. That's what I like to see. So that's some good news. That is some positives. In this time where it's a dip, everyone feels down. Apparently everyone who got Bitcoin is miserable. I'm not. I'm quite happy. You know, I look at these figures and I think, God, that's a cheap time to get involved in cryptocurrency. I reckon sort of by November this year, I'll think back of this video and I'll think, oh, do you remember I did that video where Litecoin was $150? And oh yeah, Bitcoin was 8K. You know, and it just annoys me. I wish I had some more money. I wish. Why can't I have more money? I would actually invest a lot. You know, if I had some, like I say, if I had a spare couple of grand, I would invest right now, like today. Because even though things are on the upslide, I still believe over the course of a year, these prices are cheap. Let's see if they've changed. What about you guys? If you had a spare $2,000, what would you put it in straight away? What would be the first thing that comes to your mind? What's going to go up the most in the next, 2018? Sell Bitcoin private now and buy it back at $5 less per coin, then hold it. It will go up. You think Bitcoin private is going to go down to $5? I hope not, because Z Classic is still worth more than that. Let's actually have a look and see what Z Classic is worth right now. Yeah, $5. So I can't see Bitcoin private dropping below Z Classic. It just wouldn't make any sense. Because Bitcoin private's essentially the same as Z Classic, but a better. Let's have a look. Bitcoin is going up. It's at 8,155. Ethereum's still at 534. Still cheap. Ethereum's the one that every time I see it, I'm like, oh my god, that's cheap. Yeah. Oh, Monero's just gone. Well, that's 199. That's gone down since I've been talking to you guys in this video. Although it says here up, but it was at, I think we saw it, didn't we? I didn't just make that up. It was over $200. So yeah, that's it, guys. This is the best time when you're thinking of making profits in cryptocurrency. You don't make the profit when you sell it. You make the profit when you buy it. If you buy Bitcoin at 20,000 and it goes up to 21,000, you haven't made very much profit. It's not even. It's like 5%. But if you bought it when it crashed and it went down to 6,000, you're talking about a 400%. Is it four times? Yeah, it's like 400%, isn't it? 400% gain. So you actually make the profit, and I believe this is the most profit you're going to see. Probably, I'm gonna put it out there, and I'm actually gonna say this to cover myself for a little bit of time. I think between now and the end of March is going to be the cheapest you're going to see cryptocurrency for the rest of 2018. Boom, said it. Oh, I think this is going to be the cheapest you're going to see any of these coins, or most of these coins, especially the top five. These are gonna be the cheapest. I might even take a screenshot of this just so I can remind myself and post it again. Let's do it for top. Nah, let's do it on all of them actually. I'll be interested to see actually. I'll do another screenshot sort of end of May and we'll compare the prices and we'll see if I'm right or not. If I had $2,000, I would invest in, is that meant to, iBerry credits? Judging by how Facebook and Google are now banning crypto ads, not a financial advice, I'm just speculating. Good shout, I suppose. But would you just put it in all that, just one cryptocurrency, $2,000? Not $5, I meant 5 less per coin, Glen. Oh, you think it's going to go down to like 25 coin and then I can sell the Bitcoin and then buy more. But then you have to take into account transaction fees with an exchange. I don't know, it doesn't seem like a big enough game to warrant doing that. Whereas say like where Litecoin is now, I can see that price almost doubling later on this year. Buy Bitcoin at 6.8 and 6.6, then hold it until summertime. Well, Gigabit, it's my belief that you won't see 6.8 and 6.6 again this year. Ooh. You may do, we may do, but that's my gut feeling. Even when a lot of people were saying, "Oh, we're heading to 6K this time round," and it went down to 7.7 earlier on today. I thought, oh well, it won't go into the 6K. I don't know. I just had this feeling that it wouldn't. It's bounced back now, but saying that it could tomorrow. I don't know. What was its lowest? Here, 8.4 apparently, and went for at some point today. But it's bounced back now. Now with 8. It's mental. I remember that every time Bitcoin went up, another, like hit $1,000 mark. So like YouTubers would all do videos. Bitcoin at 8K. I did one saying, will Bitcoin hit 8K by tomorrow? That's how confident I was. I weren't saying will it hit it. I was like, will it do it by this time? 8K, 9K, 10K, 11K. Now it's dipped. And it goes from like 7 to 8. People are like, oh, okay, it's bounced back a little bit. Like no one cares until people start, till it starts hitting 21,000. Then you'll see all loads of YouTubers doing videos like Bitcoin's at all-time high, 21K. Buy Bitcoin at 6. Oh yeah, I read that one. Small portions at a time till it goes up. Cortana says, yes, Glenn, all 2,000 in credits. I think you have not heard of this. I don't know what that word is. Libri platform before. Search it and when you'll have time. Gigabit says 7.3 this morning, US dollar. Ooh, maybe it was on some exchange. But it's not 6.8. I think, well, that's my prediction. You know, everyone has different theories. There's lots of technical analysis. There's lots of bots and stuff like that people are using. But I don't know. I've just got this feeling. I've got a gut feeling that I'm gonna watch back or look at this video, and I'm gonna think, God, you know, I'm gonna say to my wife, look, we should have bought it when it was all crashing. And I had a phone call today actually, and it just really drummed it into my head. I've never felt so sure about Bitcoin as I do now. Someone rang me up. It was actually my sister, and she was telling me something like a family matter, and her boyfriend, which is my brother-in-law, he said to me in the background, "Hey Glenn, what's happening with your Bitcoin?" Because he knew that it crashed. And I just didn't even, like, I was like, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, it's crashed, innit? It's only worth this, this and this. I went, oh yeah, I ain't worried about that. I said it'll bounce back probably in 2-3 days time. And I've never felt like that before. I remember when it crashed January time, I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, this is it. It's all going to go down to zero. It's going to crash. Yeah, Becky was right. I should have listened to my wife. Da, da, da. But no, this time round, I didn't care. I don't particularly care about these dips. I don't know. Does it bother you guys? Obviously, I think if you have money in altcoins and they all of a sudden fall off the face of the earth, then yeah, that's very disheartening, especially if you've got a lot of money in it. But Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, I mean, even Ripple, I have no faith in Ripple at all. I think that is I think if everyone decided, no, do you know what, I don't like Ripple, which a lot of people don't, that could be worth nothing. And I think Bitcoin Cash, I don't like the way they present themselves. I don't like the way they talk about their tech. They don't. All they talk about is how shit Bitcoin is. That's all they talk about. To me, that's a bully. Like, I look at their Twitter and their Facebook, and all I see is a bully at school. So I have no faith in Bitcoin Cash, Ripple. To me, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, that should be the order. It should be 1, 2, 3. And yeah, I know there's a lot of good projects out there, and I know there's a lot of good coins, but to me, they're the main ones. They're the ones that, if I was going to bet, they're going to be still going, still steady, still working, non-hacked. You know, wallets crashed and people losing all their money. They're the three that I would bet on, and they're the three that I would bet would go up in value over the next 12 months. So the others I've got no faith in at all. But, you know, I would buy them for a quick return. I'd buy Ripple today and sell it at $1. You know, I'd feel pretty confident at doing that. But I'd have no faith in it, and I wouldn't hold on to it long-term wise. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I may have just said that, and it may have pissed some of you off. But Binance had it at 7:03 at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time this morning. You know BTC will be king and go on forever. It was made this way to the G20. That is huge, great news for BTC public view now on all BTC. More people will buy in because of it. It's down 724 hours average, still going down yet. I look at crypto space in Twitter these days, and it's like Trump against the whole world. Bitcoin should be on the top one, but their developers don't want it to. That's why Bitcoin Cash will be the default Bitcoin one day. Oh, so here we go. We're getting into the Bitcoin Cash versus Bitcoin argument. I'm not too clued up with the development side and programming side at all. I'm just basing it off what I see, what I read, what I perceive as a. I don't know if you guys know, but I think Bitcoin Cash, the Roger Ver, I think it's Roger Ver himself, owned the rights to Bitcoin.com or something like that, and he also owns the rights to the Bitcoin official Twitter. So you see a lot of posts from, it looks like it's from someone who owns Bitcoin or runs Bitcoin, but it's not. It's actually run by Bitcoin Cash, and they just put Bitcoin down pretty much most of the time. Again, that's just another scare tactic, scaremongering. I just don't like the way they conduct themselves, and I'm literally basing the coin and the tech based off the way that it's marketed, if you like. I don't like it at all. Ripple, I don't like the theory behind Ripple either. I don't like how centralized it is. I don't like that it's for the banks. I just don't like it. So that's my take on it. Key in Ivory in CoinMarketCap, it's pronounced as library. I was going to say, I didn't know if that was an I, capital I or an L. Like HODL, but Hold Library was created to substitute YouTube. Let's have a look. It's at 23 cents at the moment. It had a massive spike in price all the way up to sort of, what was that, $1.80. Then it went back down to 2 cents. Then it went up. Then it went down. So it looks like a pump and dump type coin. Let's have a look at its social. Hosted a great session on fat protocols. Nasdaq covers how library is changing the world of streaming content. There's quite a few streaming content ICOs and coins out there at the moment. I wonder if YouTube will bring out their own coin. Sorry, it's not very good. It is like 11 o'clock at night here. Why do tech giants hate you, and why do they put up with it? It's a bit aggressive. Check out February's development and community update for news, and well, look, they've got their own merch. Which brings me on to, if you guys want to be a part of Team Bitglen, you can head over to teambitglen.com and you can buy all the, oh, I spelt my own website wrong. teambitglen.com. I would like to think that this journey has been like a team one. This isn't just me on my own. All the people that are in the Telegram, all of you that join in the live videos, I'd like to think we're a bit of a team, we're a community. I keep saying that I've got the best community on YouTube because I honestly believe I have. I couldn't have asked for any better community. So I wanted us to all sort of be connected in some way, and I thought obviously the best way to show your support is obviously own a bit of Team Bitglen merchandise. We've got phone cases, hoodies, hats and stuff like that. But anyway, that's enough of me selling it. If you want to check that out, check it out. If not, don't worry. But I thought I'd get that in quickly because I forgot to mention it at the beginning of the video. Yeah, it doesn't appeal to me, Cortana. I'm sorry, but based on that, if you can sell it at the right time, you could be in for some big profit, especially at the price it's at now. If you can sell it when it has one of these big pumps here, then yeah, you could be laughing, especially with £2,000 invested. You could easily 10 times your money. Hey, you won't feel that way a year from now when Ripple is #2 on CoinMarketCap. Well, potentially that could happen. Let's have a little look at the main two. Obviously, we'll look at their market cap. Was we talking about Ripple? Yeah, Ripple. It's currently at 25 billion. Ethereum's at 52 billion. Both of them are probably going to go up at some point, you would imagine. So Ripple would have to, if Ethereum stayed as it is now, Ripple would have to double and a bit more, which actually isn't that far off, is it? You think Ripple could potentially go up to $1.20 fairly quickly, and right, you know, then it would be worth more than Ethereum. So yeah, you're right, it could happen. You'd need Ethereum to stay as it is and Ripple to almost double, well, more than double in price, and then it would be in the #2 slot, which I think when it went up to $3.50, if I'm right, I know it didn't it take the second spot for like it was a very short period of time, but we'll see. I don't think over a long period of time it will do, but that's my belief. Good to have your own opinion. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I love hearing everyone's different views. You know, I'm not a huge fan of Ripple, but saying that, if a million other people do like it, yeah, it probably will go to #2. So I've got nothing against any coin really. If other people see a value in it, they're seeing saying I'm not. So Stellar is better than Library. Ooh, we're getting into a slugfest now. Stellar. The moment you... This is the best YouTuber Telegram. Oh, thank you. I wouldn't go that far yet. I'm trying to make my content better, but I'm trying to be as interactive as I can with you guys, because I love bouncing off you guys rather than just doing videos on my own. the moment you scroll to their merchandise feed for a few nanoseconds, I feel like your pinch on your own merchandise was going to come in. And I like you, giggle. Thank you. I've got to slip it in there somewhere, innit? Got to buy some Bitglen merch when I make enough at the end of the weekend. Come on, guys, go Team Bitglen. Hey, get in there. Banks put in at least a few trillion this year. Yes, it did. Well, all it would take is for Ripple to get hold. They've sort of said they're partnered up with, what was it, MoneyGram and was it Western Union? Now, if they get major banks like, you know, Bank of America, Santander, Barclays, you know, major banks, and generally if one of them do it, they're probably all going to follow. Then yeah, then you would have a coin then that has come out, has a roadmap, has a plan, followed it through, signed up some major investors and partners, and actually gone for it. And they would deserve to be at, you know, 1, 2, 3. Well, I think Bitcoin should always be at the top, but just because it was the first one doesn't mean it gives it the God-given right to just be there. You know, there are faults with Bitcoin, and people are working to develop that with Lightning Network, SegWit, and other updates coming later this year. But it doesn't mean it just gives it the God-given right to be at the top. I believe that, and if a coin can come out and say, right, we plan to do this, and they actually do it, and they get enough partners and investors, like was it VeChain that announced that they're working with BMW? I know, like, the person who owns VeChain has something to do with BMW or something like that, but one of them partnered, I can't remember what coin it was and who it was, but someone partnered up with BMW. So all BMW coins are gonna, cars, sorry, all their history of every car is going to be on the blockchain. Oh God, I can't remember what one it was, but that's great, you know, fantastic. A coin that's actually said, right, we're going to do this, and they're following it through, and they're managing to convince big firms to actually jump on board with them. When that starts happening on a grand scale, like all these other projects start getting out there, cryptocurrency is going to, like, you know, that black and white gif of that bloke going, that's what I think is going to happen. At the minute, obviously, we're looking at you know, like, oh yeah, look, it's up to $4 or $3 or 23 cents. When they actually get some actual investors, you know, saying, right, okay, we'll buy 5 million of your coin, then yeah, you're talking big money then. And once, like I say, once one company does something, all the others stop and go, oh, they're doing something different from us, right? We better jump on board because they're going to get ahead of us somehow. And, you know, they have Santander and State Bank of India and SSBI in Japan on board and testing already. Yes, so from what I understand, Gigabit, they quickly announced, like, oh no, we're partnered with Santander. It doesn't mean Santander are using Ripple in any way. I think Santander have said the tech that you're using, we may implement in something. It's not as clear cut as, right, they're using their coin as currency, which is what, like, they were meant to do, fast payments between banks. So you have to be a bit careful that when they just say we've partnered up with, it doesn't mean that they're using, as far as I'm aware, no major banks are actually using Ripple to transfer money from one bank to another, from what I understand. And ZEC is mooning now. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't look up ZEC. You did mention that earlier. It's up 7.89%, 239. I know Zcash is very popular to mine, like using nice hash and stuff like that. It's going to the stars, isn't it? was at $205, and now we're sitting at $239 and rising. So yeah, good shout. Bitcoin just went up $500 in the past 2 hours. Any idea why? Everyone saw it at a cheap price, buying it. I don't blame them. Yeah, it literally shot up. I had this whole video planned of like, I was going to show you IOTA being the only one going up in price. Literally, as I clicked the record button, everything started like going up in price. But never mind, that's a good, I like that. IOTA and Volkswagen and VeChain and BMW. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Gigabit. I'm glad someone's on the ball that's involved. I think that's meant to be car vertical, Frederick said. Testing it already, testing in progress. Cortana Crypto, it's the G20 meeting that's Neo rocking up 9%. Let's have a look. Neo. Says it's up 3%. $64. Let's have a look. It says it's down $1 there. The news, and that's why it went up from $500. Good news, it's coming about for this G20. PJ's really in love with this G20 meeting. Are they actually going to be talking about cryptocurrency at this G20 meeting? Let's have a little look. Oh look, what website I'm on? Oh yeah, Team Bitglen. That's right, Team Bitglen. G20 meeting talking about crypto. See if that actually generates a news article. Coindesk. G20 reveals names and dates for Netweek crypto talk. The G20 is set to hold 2 separate discussions on cryptocurrencies next week in an effort to seek what representatives call a common response on regulation. Oof. A media representative for next week's summit, to be hosted by Argentina, will currently holds the G20 president. Said to be the first meeting will take place Monday. Let's have a look at the date of this, March the 15th. So that was done on Friday, so this Monday. Where was I? A second discussion will happen on the Tuesday, the rep told Coindesk. The agenda and talking points for the 2 discussions have not been released. However, a public document indicates that discussions will be revolved around the implications of cryptocurrency and the potential application of its underlying technology. I think the G20 meetings, are they... I don't think they're recorded, are they? Or are they sort of like behind closed doors? I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they all say, actually. The issue is an important item on the meeting agenda. Delegates will consider a common response that would migrate the risk without discouraging innovation, it argues. So that's good. That's a bit like the American summit that they had. You had one side of it saying, oh yeah, it's used for drugs and terrorism. But then the other side saying, well, actually, young kids are getting involved, and this is like their version of the stocks and shares market, so we can't deny them of that. So I don't know if they're going to have the same sort of stance on it, but you would hope so, because if we get the whole sounds a bit corny, but if we get obviously the main G20 countries all coming together and saying, right, this is what needs to be done with cryptocurrency, we're going to stick to this and we're going to go this way, what do you all think? And they all say yep, they all come to some sort of an agreement, everyone would know where they stand, and it may encourage new money and people to come into the space. You know, once you get world leaders agreeing like, yeah, okay, well, let's go ahead with this, it builds confidence in the market. Therefore, obviously, the price will go up. But we'll see. It could go the other way. They could all come out and say, right, you know what, we're banning every ICO, and if you've invested in an ICO in the last 6 months, then you've got to be accountable for this. You know, it could go a horrible way. We don't know. So that would be interesting to keep an eye on it. So this Monday and Tuesday. Yes. How do you not know about this? It's why the market crashed. It's the first I've heard about it. Sorry. I haven't actually been on my laptop much this weekend, I must admit. Obviously the kids are all at school during the week, so we tend to do family stuff Saturday, and Sunday's like a chill out day. But today I was in the conservatory, and I was putting blinds up, and I was drilling holes and putting bits of plastic together. Haven't checked my phone, I haven't checked the internet, so if this article was only posted Friday at 10 o'clock at night, unfortunately I haven't had time to read about it, so sorry. Gigabit, I send you Ripple, but you can't sell it. You've got to wait until end of year deal. Okay. If anyone sends me any money or cryptocurrency and they say, Glenn, I want you to use it for this, then I will honour it, because I wouldn't have had it otherwise. So, the issue is an important item on the meeting agenda. Oh, we read that bit. The document notes that the blockchain has a potential to promote financial inclusion. However, it goes on to argue that it's important to analyse the implications of the financial stability, tax evasion, and financial illegal activities. Oh, there you go. That's what I was just talking about. I should have read the rest of the sentence, really. Finance officials from the US, Germany, France, and Japan have all called for the decisions to take place in a few months. You may actually get a few countries sort of arguing about this, because I know Japan is like really pro cryptocurrency. Obviously, US seem to be on the fence. They sort of deny their citizens to invest in ICOs, and there's certain things they can do and can't do. Same with Germany. I think they're quite strict. France are quite relaxed from what I can gather. So yeah, you may get some really people one way or the other, but we'll see. I suppose we'll see. That's actually interesting. Maybe I'll do, if you want, I'll do a video about it tomorrow. I don't know if there's a live feed of it, we can maybe watch it together. I'll get it sort of on the screen here and have us in the live chat and see what they're saying. It might be it might be an actual boring meeting, but I don't know, that'd be interesting actually. I'm going to look into whether it's actually live streamed somehow. Your reaction to the supposed free Ripple is priceless. Well, it was actually the first person who ever donated me money was PJ actually, and he said that I said, what do you want me to do with this Litecoin? He sent me, I can't remember. I completely forgot that when I set this channel up, like a lot of YouTubers, I copied the idea from this Welsh guy. He put all his Bitcoin and Litecoin addresses in the description, and said, oh, if anyone wants to give any donations. And I did the same thing. I thought, oh yeah, that's a good idea. And I've never promoted it. I've never said, and I completely forgot. And I've been doing this now for about 5 months. And PJ says, I wish we could all be on a live video call when you live stream. That would be very hectic. Yeah, so he said, oh, Glenn, I've just donated you some money to Litecoin. At first I panicked, thought, fuck, how does he know my Litecoin address? And he said, oh, you put it in your description below. And then I had to search myself, and I was like, oh yeah. And I said, what do you want me to do with the money? Because, you know, it's his money, I suppose, that he's donated to me. He said, buy your kids ice cream. And it was absolutely freezing cold for like a week in the UK. We had the beast from the east storm come. But he said, you've got to buy your kids some ice cream. So I went out, I bought about £15 worth of ice cream, and the kids are wet it the next day. So yeah, that was quite funny. That was a good story to tell. Yes, could do a Skype meetup. How the hell would you get... We generally have 20-30 people in these videos. That's how many we've got tonight, actually. Oh, it's not telling me. Oh, is it didn't tell me? Oh yeah, look, we got 23 of us. How would we get all 23 of us in a Skype phone call? That would be interesting. I don't know how to do that. I can imagine it crashing a lot. But I'm going to look into this G20 meeting, see if it's live streamed somewhere, or if there's somewhere. Maybe I'll just wait until after the report comes out from it, and then we'll live and talk about it then. A topic for the 24-hour stream. Yes, yeah, you guys have mentioned this 24-hour stream. I would like to do it. I don't want to commit myself. I would like to do it during the Easter. We have in the UK, we have 2 weeks off for Easter, and if I do a 24-hour stream, obviously I'm going to need to be available. It's going to take up at least 3 days of my time. Because even though it's 24 hours, you've got to think, if I started live streaming, say now, obviously I've got it. It's taken up some of my day today. It's going to take up all my day tomorrow. Then I'm going to need to sleep as soon as the live stream finishes. So that's going to take me into like midday the next day. So I said to my wife, she said, oh yeah, it's a good idea, 24-hour live stream. And I said, yeah, I want you to be in it. I was thinking of some ideas. I was thinking about getting, like for an hour or so, getting her in and doing like a conversation, like a his and hers, like cryptocurrency sort of views, like what she thinks about it and how she, and obviously I'll say to her, like, be completely honest, no matter what you guys are saying or what I say to her. And she could say, well, I think it's a load of rubbish, blah, 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 because I thought that would be interesting to see for you guys, or to see if that tallies up with your partners or friends or misses and stuff like that. And then I also wanted to get my friend Nathan in for an interview. My friend Dan, who's like a real sort of noob to cryptocurrency, he pretty much does whatever I sort of tell him or advise him. Like I said, oh yeah, buy some MVN tokens, they're going to be worth loads. And he's done it, and he's like, Glenn, they're not worth nothing. You know, you've lost me money. But I said, just wait, just wait, just wait. So I thought I'll get his take on it. If I could do some sort of Skype call with you guys, that would be awesome. I'd love to do that. That would take up another hour. It'd be good if I can do it on a day where something's meant to happen like that, like a, you know, I could live stream something to you guys, so that would take up another hour. I don't know. What do you guys think? It'd be interesting to see. So anyway, that's it from me. I think I've covered everything. Let's all be positive about Bitcoin. Let's all be positive about cryptocurrency. We're all here for the same reasons. We either believe in the tech or you're looking to make money. I'm a bit of both. So yeah, I'll see what comes out with this G20 summit. See if we can live stream tomorrow at some point about it. And then obviously they're doing one on Tuesday. So again, we could do something Tuesday. Ashkeel says he will be happy when dividends start. Yes, so will I. There's been no updates for Envian really, unless they've announced something tonight that I haven't seen. I think they just reshared their picture of the GPUs that they received. I saw that being shared again on their Facebook page or something, or Twitter. So nothing new yet to come out of them. BTC to the moon, 25k in April, May. Frederick, oh, big boy predictions. I disagree with you there. I can't see a 25k in April, May. It could happen, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you look at the history, when it went from when I got involved, if someone had said to me when it was November, let's zoom this in a bit. I got involved here. If someone had said to me, you know, from the sort of 5k, 6k mark, oh yeah, it's going to go to 20,000, I'd be like, no way, 4 times the amount of money in the space of 1 month. So you're obviously saying over the next 3 months, then yeah, that is possible. It is completely possible, but I would think it's very unlikely. If I was being honest, this is my prediction. I'm going to say 20k Bitcoin by the end of May, maybe 25 Bitcoin by because it's going to dip and then go back up again. I believe 25 Bitcoin by July. I'm going to say by July the 1st. Let's say that. We shall see. Send me 1 BTC and you will get 0.5 like. That sounds like a bargain. Why not? I'd say 14k by the end of April, Kevin. Being more level-headed, that's probably right. I think sometimes we get too excited. Thanks for the company for the past 1 hour, Glenn. Stay safe. Yes, so I'm going to wrap up by doing my usual plug-in. Normally Frederick helps me out here. So let's go through the list. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, click the little button and the notification bell down below if you want to get updates for when I go live. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. We've got 23 people watching this, so hopefully we'll get 23 likes. We all know that I get at least 1 dislike, and we all know who that person is. So thank you for that interaction. What else? You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all with the name Bitglen. And if you want to join us, if you want to carry on talking to me after this video and throughout the days, join my Telegram group chat. It's called Team Bitglen. There's a link for it in the description just down below. You can copy and paste that link and either put it in the app or use the desktop version. Obviously, if you really want to be a part and you want to help me support, I was thinking about this the other day. You know, I've always mentioned about, you know, YouTubers making money. I do believe YouTubers should make some money for the amount of effort they put in, and you may disagree with me or not, but rather than me go down the route of, you know, people sponsoring me to talk about their coins and shilling coins and stuff like that, which a few of you have said, Glenn, if you start doing that, I'll lose credibility for you, which I agree with you. I understand where you're coming from. I thought, well, how else can I do it in a way where, you know, somehow I'm generating income, but then I'm also not leading people down a shit path. So hence why I came up with the Team Bitglen store. It's something that I was probably always going to do if there was enough demand from it. It actually turned out that quite a few of you were messaging me saying, Glenn, when are you going to do a hoodie? When are you going to do a t-shirt? So you guys pushed me along to do it a lot quicker than I thought I would. I was going to wait until I've got like, you know, 5,000 viewers and stuff. But anyway, if you want to be a part and you want to help support me and help support this channel and this team, then head on over and make purchases of any of the merchandise that you see or like. What else? I think that's it, Frederick. What are we saying? I think I've covered everything. Next 1 hour, 15k. Yeah, it could do. It could do. You're talking about it doubling in price in the next 1 hour. Saying that, it has gone from when I first went live an hour ago. It went from 7.8 to 8.2. So it's going up quite quickly. Or Team Bitglen store, DTube, Twitch. I'm always bullish. I think that's it. I think I've done all my plugins. So there you go. Thank you for watching, guys. Thanks for being the best community on YouTube. You've really helped me with this journey. I probably would have stopped doing these videos by now if I didn't find you guys. So if I didn't have all of you in the live chat and the Telegram chat, I probably would have got bored and stopped doing these videos, but you're giving me a reason to keep doing these videos every day, even if not much is happening. So I don't earn any money from doing these YouTube videos, so I'm literally just doing it for the love and from you guys. So you know, thank you for that. That's it from me, guys. I'll see you on the next episode of Bitglen. See you later. Bye.